My father died of prostate cancer at 57. My 51-year-old brother died of cancer in December 99. In January 2002, my daughter was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Ma mère est décédée d'un cancer du sein en 86 et mes deux tantes, les deux sœurs de ma mère, sont décédées aussi d'un cancer du sein.
I've lost 3 aunts to breast cancer. And my worry now is my 2 young daughters.
My mother passed away from the BRCA gene 4 years ago. Ever since that day, my family has been aware that the BRCA gene is a part of our family.
Most cancers, most breast and ovarian cancers, are caused by multiple reasons. There is a particular variety which is the hereditary breast and ovarian cancer, which the predominant cause of these cancers is a genetic mutation.
In the quest to isolate the genes responsible for hereditary breast and ovarian cancer, researchers discovered 2 genes, BRCA1 and BRCA2. These genes preserve the integrity of our genetic code. If a mutation in one of the genes occurs, the code is broken. The broken code often results in uncontrollable cell growth, the hallmark of cancer. The BRCA gene mutation can be passed on from either the mother or the father. Children have a 50% chance of inheriting the gene, and their children will have a 50% chance, and so on.
80% of women with the BRCA1 gene will get a breast cancer in their lifetime, and 40 to 50% will get an ovarian cancer in their life. With BRCA2, the breast cancer risk remains the same, almost 80%, but the ovarian cancer risk is smaller, about 20%. It's very important to realize that men also carry the BRCA gene. Men are at equal risk, but unfortunately, because these are seen as women's cancers, too little is done and too late. I moved here from Europe. I had less than 1% of my patients possess the gene. But because Montreal has 2 of the ethnic groups that tend to carry the gene, Ashkenazi Jews as well as French Canadians, now almost 15% of my patients possess the gene.
I have stage 3 ovarian cancer. I had an oophorectomy, a hysterectomy. I had many chemotherapies. I still have the cancer. There's no doubt in my mind that had I followed Dr. Fuchs' suggestion and been tested for the BRCA gene in the year 2000, I would not have gotten this cancer. Unfortunately, I was negligent. My gynecologist was very negligent.
It is so depressing and distressing that 70% of women with ovarian cancer come to us too late. We do the best we can, but we are really only firefighting once we see somebody in stage 3.
The only thing that I can hope for is that by the time my grandchildren grow up, there will be a cure for this disease. Because there is a good chance, since I passed the gene on to all 3 of my children, it's quite possible that my grandchildren also have the gene.
HBOC started out of personal and family tragedy. My wife's sister died of BRCA-related breast cancer. Living through her tragedy and her experiences, we came to the realization that something must be done. Something must be done to help similarly afflicted families, and something must be done for future generations.
So I received a call at the HBOC Foundation office from a lady named Suzanne Petit. And the reason she called me was that she has a lot of breast cancer in her family and she wanted to have a mastectomy. And a friend of hers decided to research mastectomies on the internet and they found HBOC.
Tout à fait, sans hésitation, à me rencontrer. On a passé 2 heures ensemble et là, j'ai senti vraiment que j'étais épaulée. Et j'ai senti tout d'un coup des réponses à mes questions que je me posais depuis déjà 2 ans.
And I was absolutely shocked to learn that she knew nothing about BRCA. She didn't know it existed. No doctor had ever told her that she should be tested or that it was anything she should think about.
Quand j'ai parlé avec Joanne, ce fut une grande surprise d'apprendre qu'il existait un test pour le dépistage, la mutation du gène. J'étais tellement surprise, j'avais jamais entendu parler de ça. Bien sûr, je me suis posé la question, pourquoi mon médecin m'en avait jamais parlé auparavant?
I believe we have a responsibility to educate family doctors and general gynecologists. And we have a responsibility to educate the public as well, so that they too report in time.
In order to pursue our goal of awareness, we sponsored an international symposium in 2005. At that event, we've had 250 attendees or learners who heard speeches and talks given by 35 expert faculty in the world.
It was a very good forum to exchange ideas about this extremely difficult, complex disease.
We've also been able to support clinical research. This year, we're also funding the infrastructure for a database.
Listen, I'm going to speak to Dr. Tiskwich and to Sonia, and I'm going to relay some of the information that you've given me.
We continue to promote awareness by supporting a clinical care coordinator who coordinates test results and really helps the doctors follow families who are in need.
Before I started in this position, all this paperwork and running around was left to the patient. I know women who carry agendas around full of test results and appointments.
I think I have 5 agendas from the past years, just so I can keep track of what I have been doing. But now the foundation has hired Laura Hayes to do all this for me.
Okay. Did you receive the letter in the mail for the appointment with Dr. Gottlieb on Friday? The doctors see the results much quicker than they did before I was there. The genetic counselors are made aware if there's any issues with the patient. I think it makes these women more at ease.
It's relieved the pressure off of me big time, so I can put my strength and everything else into my kids rather than worry about when my next appointment will be.
What the HBOC Foundation did is gave us the tools and the staff to look after this group of patients very well. And so it's a huge weight off my mind.
We've made a commitment to BRCA families to support them in their quest, to support them in their clinical care, and that requires ongoing funds to support our clinical care coordinator. We made a commitment to continue to support research. That requires continued funding.
It will require a lot of money to get that research done. So hopefully, by the time my grandchildren grow up, they will not have to worry about having this horrible gene.
The chances of me potentially passing away or getting sick are going to be less than the person that doesn't know about the gene.
You cannot change your genetic makeup, but you can do a lot of things with that information.
My mother would be very proud to know that this foundation is going to benefit me, help me. She would be proud to know that I have the chance of living longer than she did, to be with my children like she wished she could be.